Well, this video is basically a blast from the past. That's right, another Marvel employee losing their minds on Twitter and alienating fans.
You're just a white privileged racist male that doesn't stand for women's rights. Get the out of here. Damn and get that camera out of my face either. Wait. You white male privileged assholes.
Now, it's no surprise, or it should come as no surprise, that I try to view things through the lens of live and let live. Look, I want people to be able to view my videos regardless of how they vote. I couldn't care less. I'm a clown here to entertain. That's my job. And as long as you'll let me have it, I'll be here doing it every single day, 3 to 4 times a day. Many of you have noticed the art behind me. Those are disc plates. They're high quality prints on metal. And the best part about them is they're so easy to mount. They come with everything you need. It doesn't require any additional tools to be mounted to the wall at all. All you need is a magnet, which comes with it. They have a gigantic selection over on their website, and right now you can save a big chunk of money if you use the link in my description below, and you'll get some awesome offers, and you'll see curated content, stuff that I've picked out for you. Comics, cool stuff, TV shows, movies, Star Wars, video games, cars, and so much more. So head on over to the link in the description below to get your display today. I don't understand these Marvel employees in particular who get their following. Here's the nuanced take. People in Marvel industry, let's take Dan Slott, for example, very popular in the Marvel comic book world. They amassed their gigantic, super huge Twitter followings. Why? I'll give you two choices. Do we think it's because of their existence in the Marvel universe and penning Spider-Man comics, or is it because of their political hot takes? See, the problem is when these people get a bunch of following, huge following, their ego gets inflated and they think that these people are following them for their hot takes. Look, even I know when I'm on Twitter, people say, do a video of your pets, or if I put out a personal take, or I put out a personal video here on YouTube, it gets far fewer views because I provide a service. I understand my role. I'm here to provide some news and some commentary and try to be funny while I'm doing it. For some reason, Marvel employees and Disney employees have not accepted this. And we saw this last week with the writer of She-Hulk melting down over South Park. And now we have Marvel writer Dan Slott saying, well, terrible things. See, the thing is, I know that there are people that vote a certain way that watch my videos and vote a way I do and vote a way I don't. Who cares? I'm just glad you're here watching my videos. It's not my job to convince people how to vote. It's not my job to berate people who vote a way I don't agree with. It's my job to entertain, and it is their job to do the same. In fact, Marvel, if you want some feedback, if you want to look to how to maybe recover your writer's image, your company image on Twitter, holla at your boy. This coming via Bouncing Into Comics, but the story is getting even bigger as now Screen Geek and Reclaim the Net have picked it up. Marvel Comics Fantastic Four writer Dan Slott took to Twitter to attack the Drumpf supporters. Slott wrote on Twitter, "The administration is not on top of this emergency. They're ignoring or contradicting their own experts. People are dying." He added, "and he's golfing at his resort again and profiting from it. Ah! I don't know why these people, don't understand that we don't care about their political opinions. See, they get this false sense of reinforcement because they tweet something out like this, and then there is a percentage of their fans that agree with it and they'll like it and retweet and give him some verbal brownie or digital brownie points. The problem is there's also an equal group of people that don't agree with it, dislike it, won't follow them, or will choose to not buy their comic books. This is the dumbest way to sell anything on the planet. Slott then stated, "I'm not saying F you for voting for him. I'm saying F you if you vote for him again. He, of course, deleted many of these tweets. He would then go on to double down later. But then you get voice actress Susan Eisenberg, who will be playing Sorceress in the upcoming Masters of the Universe Revelation series, and previously voiced Wonder Woman and Mara, would concur with Slott writing, and yet people will vote for him again, and nothing will change that. It's incomprehensible and insane to me. Again, you're a voice actor, not a political analyst. You're a comic book artist, not a doctor.
You're not a doctor. You're a big, fat, curly-headed
People should not be taking their opinions. It's the reason that I've now refused to cover anything of like that, the variety on either of my channels. I'm not an expert, and I don't want to contribute to the pool of uneducated people talking about serious issues. But comic book pros and Marvel employees, Disney employees, can't seem to stop. Slott is no stranger for going after the president. Recently, he accused him of putting children in cages. I've donated to Warren. I would have voted for Warren, but here's the thing. He puts children in cages. He puts his own ego before truthfulness about the bug, ignores the climate crisis, and is shredding our Constitution. I'll vote blue no matter hue. This is one of the dumbest political takes anyone can have. Blind loyalty to a political party is a pure ideological / emotional decision. The idea that corrupt person number one or corrupt person number two is going to look out for your best interest simply because of which aisle they sit on is reductive and idiotic. I don't know if it's more lazy or more uneducated, but these are our comic book pros. You know, people follow Dan Slott to hear about what comic books he's working on, what is new in the Marvel universe, not who he wants to vote for. He also claims that, he goes on to, of course, other things. He also claims that he ripped off the Star Wars logo. He has what you would call a raging case of TDS. But then you'll see a double down. Being told by my fans that my political beliefs, children shouldn't be in cages and that our government shouldn't spread misinformation, is now a reason they'll no longer check notes, watch any more of my movies. As a prolific filmmaker, this hurts. Now, here's the thing that either he is too dumb to understand, which is very likely, or he doesn't care, and therefore he is a liability to the Marvel brand. All of these people are brand ambassadors. It's a give and take. It's the reason anyone follows them, for the most part. And it's the only reason anyone cares about what they have to say. Dan Slott would be an unverified random TDS NPC number 007 if he didn't work for Marvel. This is something that these people like Dan Slott, simply cannot understand. There's these voice actors and Funimation employees, they get their blue check mark, and all of a sudden they think the 20,000 people that followed them for their voice acting in their favorite show now want to hear what they think about the current political climate. Let me save you some time. They don't. And yes, half, roughly, of them will agree with you. And so you think that this is a good thing for your brand. But putting out divisive messages is not good for the brand. And at some point, Marvel is going to say that we don't want this. We already know that DC has certain policies in place about their employees on social media. Look, this is a tough topic because you don't want to... I'm not calling to shut anybody up. Dan Slott is welcome to go all TDS, Orange Man bad, all day, every day. But the fact... or the reality is that this is costing him sales. And the bigger reality is, the one Dan Slott should actually be worried about, is that it is costing Marvel sales all over. Yes, we're not going to see a Dan Slott movie, but Dan Slott is associated with Marvel. And the more idiots that Marvel have online dividing fans and saying absurd things, the more people that are going to view Marvel in a negative light. This is business 101. In fact, well, this is PR 101. DC understands that. And you don't want to say, hey, look, you can't say what you want, but there is a point where you become damaging to the brand, and they're going to step in eventually here. You're going to wait and see what happens in phase 4. And by the way, we can only look at modern comic book sales, and now the story's picking up more steam. This was just published just minutes ago on Screen Geek. Today's political climate is divided as it's ever been. I disagree. I think that every year around election time, it gets divided. Social media adds fuel to the fire. But we're still talking about a vocal minority on both sides that are fighting like rabid dogs. We're no longer in a time where people kept their political beliefs to themselves. Oh, God, I miss that. As social media has given them a platform to voice their thoughts and argue about them, this is also the most notable figures in Hollywood and comics industry, and Marvel Comics writer Dan Slott is no different. He has a pretty vocal take about the current administration in a deleted tweet. Shocking that he would delete it. See, that's the thing, Dan Slott. Stunning and brave. Why did you delete this tweet is the real question here, because if you really believed it, then why didn't you stick with it? And if you look at his Twitter, which of course I'm blocked, even though I've never interacted with him. He's basically on Twitter all day, every day. And that's these are the type of people that, don't actually have any work to do. So they just spend all day on Twitter. You have, obviously, here's the original tweet on the 9th. Who in good faith could support this man? And then you have, he tweeted out earlier, hey, I accidentally used a block bot because I was getting a bunch of quote-unquote trolls, as he put it. Now, it looks like he may have deleted that tweet as well. He put out a tweet saying, hey, if you got blocked by me, I was heading off all the quote-unquote trolls. Look, I don't need to screech at him in his follows or in his mentions. So here it is. Was getting an influx of a large influx of online trolls responding to it, and then he doesn't tag them like a true hero. Hit piece. It isn't a hit piece. They literally framed exactly what you said, Dan Slott. And I had to run a blockchain on that account. If you feel you were unfairly swept up in that block, have a friend tweet me your Twitter handle, and I'll unblock you. That garbage site is quickly becoming the alt-right of comics. It was always that. What? What? They literally reported exactly what you said, word for word, and added very little editorial. You had like a couple of paragraphs here, and at no point do they really say, and this is why everything's failing. You have them refuting some of your takes, but that's it. Listen, sell the hot dogs. People like Dan Slott are ruining everything we love. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.